channel. Thank you for watching this video. Today I'm interviewing Captain Joey. Just gonna ask him some personal questions, things you probably didn't know about him. Anyway, I'm trying to figure it out. So let's get started.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, so the first, you cannot look at my screen now. The first question is, do you prefer long or short flights, and why?
I prefer the short flights more than the long flights, especially in the short flights, the domestic flights. You have just more to do. It's like you're constantly doing something. You just reach your cruising altitude, and immediately after that you start your descent. On long flights, it's it's opposite. Just sometimes, I'm not gonna say it gets boring, but it's just
It's different.
It's different. Yeah, it's different.
So what is the sickest approach you've ever flown, from the beginning of your career until now?
Okay, the sickest approach I would say is Madeira in Funchal, but the thing is that I'm not actually flying, I'm just monitoring because it's a captain's landing.
Captain only,
yeah,
right?
captain only.
Right.
But it's the thing is that it's very challenging also for the pilot monitoring, as you have to aid the captain with all sorts of things, and it's great. It's definitely a great approach. Yeah, I like that.
So who is your best captain and why?
The best captain I've flown with, his name is actually Claudio Pastura. He's become a really good friend of mine also in private life, and he's in most of my videos. You can see in these approach videos, he's actually the captain to my left, and he likes doing it, and I enjoy just flying with him. And he's also not just a captain, he's also an instructor. So every time we fly, there's always something I can learn from him, and I like those captains who I can profit from.
And he's okay with the whole Captain Joey?
Oh yeah, he's totally fine. He's got a son. And
he doesn't mind?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Not at all, not at all. No.
What airplane would you like to fly and why? Which you haven't flown yet.
I admit a childhood dream was always the Boeing 747. It always has been, and it will remain that for quite some time. So it'd be very difficult to...
A Boeing? Are you saying that?
I know.
Yeah.
Actually, an Airbus boy, but I just like the shape of the 747. It's really iconic, and yeah, it's a long-term goal that I might fly her one day, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
I'll just...
Okay.
What is the best airplane food you've ever had?
The best airplane food I've had? Good God.
You know, like the catering, you know.
Oh, well, that's good you say.
Not like the things you brought from home.
No. We used to do, with Airberlin, we used to do wet lease flying for Austrian Airlines. And Austrian Airlines has a business and first class. So we actually got the food from the business class, and it was served with porcelain, proper porcelain, so no plastic cutlery. And I thought that was really nice, and they had like proper silverware, and the food was really delicious. So yeah.
It was the same food for the business class in the
end. Yeah. It's in the end. It was not
still crew meal.
No, it might have been a crew meal. I'm not sure, but the look of it was a business class meal.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
What's the best thing an instructor ever taught you, except for flying?
Okay. Alright, there's a few. I got great advice from my first instructor who did the VFR flying part with me.
That's a long time ago.
It's a very long time ago. The funny thing was that he gave me this great advice. I was flying a Piper 2.8, and as you look above the dashboard, there's like a beam coming up in the middle of the window, and there's rivets you can see looking out. And he always told me to keep your altitude, just choose a rivet from there and then parallel it with your horizon, and that just maintain that instead of constantly monitoring your instrument, because the VFR flying is obviously looking outside. Yeah. So I remember that really close, and well, he told me that way, so just orientate yourself with that rivet, and that's what I did. So I had the horizon in the background, kept it parallel to that rivet, and I never had any trouble keeping and maintaining altitude. It was great.
They never said to you like, hey, you're too much in your instruments.
No. Well, I mean, if you VFR, you shouldn't be within your instruments most of the time. You should actually look more outside, and that was a great advice. It was good advice. Yeah, I really like that. It's like a easy rule of thumb to use things like that. So yeah.
If I asked you which sector you would fly, would you fly the first sector or the second sector? And why?
That's a very good question.
Like, do you rather fly towards the destination, or do you rather fly back to your home base?
It depends on the weather.
If the weather is really bad.
Where, at the destination or at both? Okay, then I'd rather...
It's terrible. Like,
I know. I'd rather fly the second leg.
Okay.
Because if you're flying the first leg, you always have to, you know, prepare the whole aircraft. Your checklist is much longer than it is if you find the second part. So it depends. Sometimes if it's a great destination, I like flying there. I very often say I haven't been to this destination in months, and then very often the captain allows me to fly the approach. But it can vary. Sometimes it's this and that.
Did you ever taxi wrong?
Oh yeah, I've I have. Yeah.
And did the passengers notice?
Well, no, but they might have noticed because
very long round.
no, they might have noticed because I did the 360. It was very funny. It happened because we got the allowance that we allowed to taxi. Not many companies actually had that. So once we started off, and it was actually it was a bad day, rainy-wise. There was a lot of you didn't see the runway very well and the taxi lights and everything. So I took a right instead of a left, I think, and then we had to go way round. So the taxi time, I don't know, it got like 15 minutes longer. The tower had a bit of a laugh of it, and then I was very embarrassed. My captain, he didn't realise it in the first moment, so he had a laugh at it as well. Yeah, but things like that.
And he wasn't embarrassed because he had
no. The thing he didn't realise, I mean, we realised by the time when the ATC controller told us, okay, Airberlin, you've gone the complete wrong way. So then obviously we would have had a laugh at it, but
you were allowed to taxi?
Oh yeah.
For self-switch, okay.
Yeah. That was a thing. It's not that many companies who actually allow that.
So you have a tiller on the right side?
Yeah.
Or
on the Airbus, you
yeah.
have on both sides, so we can both use
different then. Yeah. Okay. Like, do you even have a tiller? I don't know.
Yeah, we have one. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think there are more affairs in aviation than in other sectors?
No, I think they're the same.
The same?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the rumors are all true. Any pilot who tells you he hasn't had a relationship or something going on with the flight attendant, he's either a really good liar, but I mean,
yeah.
I think it's as comparable to like hospitals with doctors and nurses and stuff like that. I wouldn't say there's a big difference.
Can you perform a quick Joey PA? Or do you never do PA?
I do, yeah. Well, we have to. If I'm pilot flying, I have to do the announcement. So it'll go.
It's really prepare these questions. No, I'm just asking you. It's like being with everything I ask you.
So if I would do that, I actually prepare myself properly. I would always write down a few things, like the route where we're going along, you know, which city I'd like to mention, how the weather is, obviously, at the destination. And it starts off, dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this flight from Munich to Mallorca, for example. Great day flying, weather flying today, no turbulence reported so far. We're now just crossing Geneva, and so we've got another hour flying, and weather at Mallorca is great. Expected arrival time will be this and that. Yeah, I had no issue, no problem doing that.
Yeah, I didn't have any more. I can go on forever. So. But if you guys have any questions you want to ask Captain Joey, please comment below. And next time, if that ever comes, next time we'll answer those questions as well. So please comment below.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching. It's been great getting interviewed by Dutchpilotgirl. Make sure I'm going to ask her the similar questions or other questions on her channel, so definitely check out that video. See you guys.
Bye.